administration part. So as part of the HANA DB administration, so we are checking the studio administration topics, right? The studio level, how to monitor the SAP uh, database performance, database logs, all those things, right? So here, first tab, we overview tab, just it will check the status of the overview about the, your systems and all those things, right? So landscape tab, the process related, how the HANA related process are running status here. So what is the process ID, when it was the last restart happened, CPU, memory utilizations. So all the information we can see it here. Alex, the errors related information here. The performance tab. So here we can see the sessions, threads. So those are the sessions which are connected to the systems and sessions here, right? And also volumes tab. So your disk space related information, configuration. If anything parameter changes or something is required, so in the configuration tab, we do the changes about the parameters tuning. Tuning the system performance, system resources can be done using the configuration tab here. So system information, like, so in your system, if you need some details, so then system information tab will help you to identify the pulling the data, some reports, all the information here, system information here, right? So size, table, sessions, logs. So all those things will be helpful here. So size of the table, size of the all those things here, it will provide you the details here, right? So size, tables, logs. So some kind of a predefined statements are available here, predefined SQL statements. So these SQL statements will be helpful for identifying the details instead of going to the system and getting the details. So then we can execute the predefined SQL statements here. Okay. So then the next one, diagnosis files. Diagnosis files. So normally when you go and visit the any hospital or doctor, so doctor will do the some diagnosis, right? So means suppose if any process is not working or something you are not working or sick status, what we do? We go hospital, doctor immediately he will just ask us to some proofs like some reports. Then he will collect the reports. Then doctor will review the report and he will write the prescription, right? Similarly, he will analyze it. Similar like diagnosis files to diagnose the issue. So then every process, suppose if you want to some index server having some issue, then you can go to an index server trace file, then you can check the what is happening with the index server. Are there any errors in the index server last 24 hours? So you can see the timestamp, you can see the timestamp, and you can see the log file here. Here we can find out the any errors or issues, all the information we can see it here. All the information we can see it here, right? So that kind of log files we can check it out. Suppose you want to check the what are the SQL statements are executed in the index server. Why? Because all the data resides index server only. So definitely the SQL execution statements, loading, unloading, all those things will happen in the index server. So if you find out like what SQL statements are executed, so all the information will be recorded in trace file. Mainly diagnosis files are like a log files here. Every process. So like access engine, index server. Sir, I am seeing only two. Why sir means? So what about the other process? We have the name server, compile server, daemon, web dispatcher, other process. But in the diagnosis files, I can only see the only two log files, two process related log files here. What about this one means you are in the tenant. That's why you are seeing this one. If you go to the system DB, then if you go to the diagnosis files here you can see the all the process name server related, backup related, so daemon related, web dispatcher related, preprocessor, compile server, all the process related log files you can see it here. All the process related log files you can see it here, right? So here suppose like web dispatcher, you can see web dispatcher related log file here. What's happening with the web dispatcher, right? So what's happening web dispatcher? So is there any issues with the web dispatcher connectivity? That information will be tracked here, right? So then So this one and all, you can see the all the information. So daemon, name server, backups related information, right? So then all the process related informations you can see it in the log files here, right? So this is the log files, evidences, logs, every process, what it is doing, what it is handling, any issues. So how to identify means by checking the diagnosis files, by checking the logs in the system, right? Then we can identify what's happening in the system or not, that can be identified. So when you go to the trace configuration, sir, existing logs are not enough. Sometimes doctors say, no, these reports are not enough. We need to go some deep dive. So then in that case, you need to collect more. By default, some logs will be collected. So rare cases, those logs are enough. But rare cases, we need to collect more log files here. We need to collect the more log files here. In this case, we need to go to the trace configuration here. Then you can collect the some more evidences here. Suppose like SQL trace, some SQL statements are running from longer time. Then you can collect the some SQL statement here, right? Just based upon the user application or table or based upon the user. Suppose like Ravi, the user is running something longer time, it is executing. I want to collect only user specific log. Then you can mention the log. Then so the trace is activated. Now onwards, whatever the Ravi user is executing, is doing in the database level, everything will be tracked. Everything will be tracked status here. So user specific trace, performance trace, system performance related issues, expensive statements means long running SAP statements here, long running SQL statements, end-to-end
Sorry.
traces. So this kind of traces we can activate it here. Suppose like sometimes you some functional team or someone reports like there is a one SQL statement is running from longer time. I want to find out what is the SQL statement here. Then you can activate it and here then you see the expensive SQL statement is activated. Right? So sometimes you are one of the user, one of the specific user related traces we want to activate. That time we can just see the traces we can activate it here. This traces again it will come to in this list only here. See, in this list only the traces will be collected here. So all the traces, name server related SQL statements, daemon. So we have the name server, so all the process related name files, you can see the all the information here. So statements, SQL trace, all the traces we can see it here, right? So these are all the things we can see in the so trace configuration here. In the traces, we can see the all the information here: kernel trace, plant trace, so SQL trace, database trace. So all the information we can see the traces here, the traces configuration here. So, okay, that is what we can see the traces. These only files, maybe as and when required. So database will operate. Sometimes what happens? Sometimes there is a very huge memory utilization. The immediately the memory graph will go to the peak status. Then we need to identify what's happening. Then if you go to the performance and sessions, then here you will find out the so what is the which session is causing and who is causing some other persons. See, multiple people are connected from the application side and DB user also connected here, right? So then we can see the multiple people are connected and what they are doing, what statements they are executing, how much records, how many queries they have executed, number of records they have fetched it out. So this person fetched the more number of records, right? So then here we can identify so who fetching and is it session is active. So what it exactly doing. So this kind of things we can analyze this some performance related issues in the system here this way, right? So that way at the time, so we can see the log files here, diagnosis log files will help you to identify the issues and everything here, right? So this is the diagnosis files and trace configuration. Sometimes what happens, the collected log files are not enough to diagnosis, right? Collected traces are not enough to find out the issue. Then you need more logs, or sometimes SAP will ask you to more logs. That time you can collect the more logs. Sometimes SAP will ask you to collect the logs, specific logs. Suppose like why? Because these are the different timestamp related log files. So SAP will ask you to collect the some logs like last 24 hours logs, last 7 days logs, or last two. So two iterations related logs here, last 24 hours logs here. So right, last 24 hours logs here. So like that, he may ask you to collect it. Then the log files will be collected here. You can see the logs are getting collected here. So this way we can identify the issues here, right? So we can get the logs and we can inform to the SAP to troubleshoot the issues and everything here. Okay, that is the HANA. So HANA Studio tabs here, right? So then if you see here, the right side, we have the, so right side, we have the folders. These are all the folders here and systems here. System DB and tenant DB. We have the backup related and the catalog, right? So here you can see the catalog here, right? What is mean by catalog means, normally we know, sir, database means what? It will store the data in tables. In the form of tables, data will be stored here. So where can I see the tables are? Or you said like in the index server, we all the data will be stored in the form of tables, right? But where can I see the tables? I want to see the number of tables and the tables data I want to see, not this logs and everything, right? So in this case, you need to go to the catalog. In the catalog, we have the, so related schemas are available here, right? Under the schema, we have the tables are available here. Under the schema, we have the tables are available here. If you see the tables here, we can see the tables. Under the schema, we have the n number of tables here. So each table, if you go to the open the data preview, the data will be displayed. Each table, the data will be displayed here. If you see the table, so right click and open the data preview, then all the data will be displayed in the table. See, these all are the, so fields. This is the data got inserted here, right? All the data is getting inserted here, right? See, so 45 milliseconds, there are 336 rows retrieved in the 45 milliseconds, right? How fast in 18 milliseconds this got retrieved here. So this one of the advantages we can say, HANA is the one of the fastest database here. Within fraction of milliseconds, the rows will be retrieved from the database level here. The rows will be retrieved from the database level here, right? And also we can also perform the live analysis here. If we go to the analysis here, so sometimes there is a some trending, some charts trending, and something we need to calculate it here. Then you can put in the table name here. You can put the table name. You can put the login in the here name. Then you can find out the tracking here, right? Some tracking. So tracking related information we can find out here, right? So and also you can also find out in the graph wise, map wise, and also you can also heat map wise, and also you can also the waterfall graph level you can find out the data, radar level you can find out the data here. So multiple ways we can analyze the data here. So which means all the data which is coming to the here, the graph, the data based upon the data. So that data, if you have the raw data getting increased, so then similarly the graph also will do the some adjustments and everything here, right? Some adjustments, some other things will be, we can overwrite it, we can check it out from here, right? So multiple graphs we can see it here, right? So you can see the radar, waterfall graphs, there are the many other things here. Okay, so this way we can easily do the analysis on fly. We can make the business decision here. Suppose example, this is one of the sales table. So you want to, you are going to release the product. The salesperson, when they are going to release the product into the market, they want to see the trending previous months and years, how was the trend, how was the sales. Then this kind of things we can find out from here. So, and then we can see the all the details here. All the details we can see it from here, right? In the charts, the table level, we can find out the all the information and everything here, right? That is the chart. That is the one table we can do the analysis, analyzing the table data and everything here, right? So the statistics. So there are many tables. many tables are there here. So we cannot remember all the tables here, but there are every table, the data will be stored here in the form of so column store way. These all are the column store tables. So data is getting saved here, right? So like that. So one schema we have the many table. Like that, each schema there are the many tables are there. So under the schema we have the tables. Under the schema we have the table, so that it will store the data. Tables data will be stored into the here the database level here. So schema is like under the catalog. Under the catalog, under the catalog, we have the schemas. Schema means the owner of the table. Schema means owner of the table here. So this schema will do the schema means owner of the tables here. So under the schema, we have the tables here. Under the schema, suppose like if you see the sys schema, if you see any schema, we have the tables here, right? And also we can also create the tables also here, right? So just right click, create a new table here. Suppose like I want to create the training table here, right? In the column store way, I want to create the columnar store. Training fields like name of the person and phone number. Phone number here is not the character. It's a phone number means what is that?
Integers.
Integer.
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 Yes. So like that, so we can set the some fields here, right? We can set the some fields.
Address.
So then we can set the some fields here. So just click on the save button here. Then what I can do, I can create one application in SAP level, or I can create the one program at SAP level, or I have the one AI application, or I have the some other chatbot applications. What I can do, so whenever any new training batch starts, all the trainings related data I can store in the my database level. So this data will be the permanent, right? Instead of you maintaining the records into the your books and everything, you have the data. So then all the information, status, some other fields I can maintain. Then I can formalize all the information here, right? So like I can automate the things also here instead of manually editing here. Then what I can do, I can in the application side, whatever the application is installed SAP side, I can create the one thing. I can create the things in the SAP side so that all the data, then I can link this table so that all the data, whatever you do in the application side, all the data will be stored into the table level, right? Whenever you require, you can retrieve the data, employee data, trainings data, you can retrieve it. Like that, we can also create the table here. So some kind of tables also, you can also create it here. Not only like you can use the standard tables, you can also use the some custom tables for reporting purpose and everything here, right? This way, so my data is safe, secure, and also applications, and also so new interface to store the data and also retrieve the data to calculation purpose, and also we can also do the analysis of the table here, analysis of the table and everything here, data preview, but currently there is no data. Then I can do the some analysis here. So the name of the person, then that person phone number, or how much he paid. So then I can calculate the all the information here. Then I can see the instantly I can see the who are pending and who are not paid, who are still. So that kind of information I can track it. But I need to do the some groundwork here. Table I created, then I need to maintain the fields. Then data I have to all your data I need to insert here so that then we will get the clear records and data here, right? That's why we can do the so tables creation also we can do it from here, right? So just right click on the schema. So schema, under the schema we have the tables here, right? We can create the table, new table creation we can kind of here, right? This is a catalog here, right? So content is like a development side here. Developers will create the content here. It's not by you. In the HANA also, the developers will do the some development kind of functionalities here. So what they will create it here, normally developers will merge the 2 or 3 tables for the analysis purpose. Then why? Because here you see, suppose like one table is in the one table is they are storing the live transactional data, live data storing. There is a one more table that is storing the some history data. The product history data is storing here. Product history information will be here. One is the live product status here. So then what the developer will do, developer will use the some merge concept here. Then they have the some tools. These two tables they will connect to the here for merging the data, concatenate. Then they will graphically they will display the live data as well as the historical data. They will display the data here so that history also we can see, then live data also we can see here, right? So that's the purpose. With developers will do the some kind of so privileges. They will create the some, what they will create, they will create the some package here. It's not by us, so developers, okay, don't worry. So they will create the some package like the training package. In the training package they will create the some attributes view. So then suppose like uh, then what they will do, so here in the M&A, it's not your duty, okay, don't worry. So then this training, the jet training table I will insert it here. Then what I will do here, there is a one more table I will pull it out. Both I will do the some concatenation here. There is normally we will call it as the root creation, concatenation and everything here. They will, I will merge it here, they will merge it here. So and also they will add the some other, what I can say like yes, some auditing, audit logs and something. Okay. So here what I will do, I want to, these are the two tables here. In this table we have a lot of fields, here two fields only. So as I want some report here, I want to have the some report here. Like so what I can do, they are the, we can merge these two uh, history, switch version, display XML, and what they will do. Mhm. So what they will do, so they will do the, okay, so not this one, their home page, the name should be matched to the, so grantee, suppose like grantee, okay, they will merge it here. Two tables they are merging here. So then the fields they are merging, okay. Then what they will do here, they will save and activate. They will save and activate the data here. So it is activating. So then after that, so they will, so similar in this table, how many records are there? In this table, how many records are there? Both tables are merging here. Both tables are merging here. Then you created a so privilege here, some attribute section you created here, right? So then if you open the, then data will be opened here. This way, so they will create the some packages here. So then if you open the data preview here, either inactive or inactive, okay. So then they will do some kind of activate. Activation is getting failed, completed with errors. So no, definitely it will fail. We just randomly tested. So like that, they will create the some attributes. They will create the some privileges, analytical privileges, calculation view, attributes view. So like that, they will create it here. So the data. So then that kind of development work they have to do it in the content folder. Under the content folder, they need to do the some developments. But it's not our duty. So, but if any developer they will work on the content folder here. They will create the some packages here, right? The next one is the data provisioning concept here. Data
Sir,
provisioning here. Yes.
in under catalog session we have virtual new virtual table, right? It was different from table.
Yeah, tables, there is a tables field. Suppose like if you see here, so then if you see the views are different,
Hmm.
right? So view means just some is so views and tables here, right? So but
Yeah.
tables are the main where it will actually store the data here. So views means application level it will be application level it will show the views here. Application level it will some tables are the actual. So not all the table, whatever the tables are there. Suppose like if you install the SAP, if you install the SAP here, then all the SAP tables will be showed in the views, but some tables will not show in the SAP level here. Those are in the only
Like
views
these
here.
would be the standard tables or what?
Standard tables only. All we are getting here, whatever the tables we have, these all are the standard tables only. There are
Okay.
no
Mhm.
custom tables. If you want to develop the customization, suppose your business requirement is you want to create a one new table in that all the training data you want to save it, you want to do the some analysis for the applications, then in this case that is your custom requirement, your business requirement. Then in that case that type of requirement nothing will be nothing tables will be provided, right? In that case what you
Yes.
need to do, you need to create a one custom table here. So then right click on the tables, then you can create a new table, then start creating the table fields, how much it is required and everything. Then similarly, same way you can map this table to the application. So application will start inserting the data, names, all the information into the table level here. Okay,
Okay.
because all the applications will store the data into the here. So, so by default, we will get the some standard tables which will from the SAP only. As part of the
Oh,
installation,
okay,
you will
sir.
get the some standard tables that contains the standard data, some dependency data and everything. So if that suits your business, you can use the standard tables. But I need one custom table means you need to create a customization.
Okay, understood.
So the data provisioning here, data provisioning means so it's one of the concept in SAP smart data access here. Smart data access, which means smartly you can provision the data from the multiple sources here. Sir, why we have to pull the multiple sources? Yes, well, because suppose I have a organization. In my organization, I have the SQL Server database. I have the some Oracle database data. Then there is a DB2 and MaxDB. I have the databases. All the databases are here. So I want here there is a one business purpose. I am using the Oracle. Some customization, some customers related database here. Then I have the so I have the DB2 I am using for the different purchase order. The sales order person I am using the max DB here, max DB. So, but if I want to give, if I want to do the analysis here, how can I do the analysis, sir? Within the system, I can within the system two tables analysis means I can do that one. Why? Because both the tables data in the source only, both the tables data in the source only. Then how can I do the analysis on this area? Why? Because some data is there in the here. You have the one more data. One I want to merge all the data into the one table here, right? Then you have the HANA database also here. Then this kind of features are available only on the HANA database. Then how can I do this kind of work, sir? Which means in the HANA level, SAP introduced a new concept is called the data provisioning, which means so you don't need, suppose like if you need this kind of data analysis reports, then you need to log into the SQL server, you need to export the data in the Excel format. Here also you need to export, here also you need to export, you need to have some Excel work, right? You are familiar, you are the expert in the Excel, and you need to download the data. It will take 1 or 2 days, right? So then it will take a lot of time and 1 or 2 days. Instead of that, to avoid this kind of things, SAP introduced a concept is called the smart data access, which means you can create the connection from your source database to HANA database, some other databases to HANA database, some other databases to this database, and you can create the connection. So then via this remote source, then here just you log into the HANA database, you can pull the data from the other databases. simply you can pull the data from the other databases here. That we will call it as the data provisioning. Data provisioning means smartly you can pull the data from the other databases. Is called the smart data access. Data provisioning concept here. But our duty, we need to create the connection between the systems here, right? This database, this database, this database, this database. Then how to create the connection here, right? So then here you can see there is a provisioning concept here. Here there is a right click and so is there any other connections? No. Right click and click on there is a provisioning. Right click remote sources. Right click and create the new remote source here. Create the new remote source here. So what are the databases? It will we can pull the data here, right? You can pull the data with the Sybase, Teradata, iCube, HANA to HANA, Hadoop to HANA, Oracle to HANA, SQL Server to HANA, DB to HANA. So see above to above. So you have lot of things you can do it, right? Your above system also you can create the data. Your above through above system also you can just store the data to here, right? So that data also you can pull it out here. That data also we can pull from the system here, right? So this way also we can pull the data, right? So this is the one of the like that. Sir, I want to pull the data from the Sybase. I want to pull the data from the HANA to HANA. So then there is a HANA database. I want to pull the data from the HANA. Then you can provide the your source also HANA, target also HANA. I want to pull the data, right? Then what I can do here, I can create the suppose like the source name. Source name means let's see MCD to HCD. Just connection name I am creating. MCD is our S4 HANA. S4 HANA to this HANA database I am creating the HANA. What is the SQL server details here? What is the DB host name? Right? It's our database MCD details are KPS4 HANA 1. And so 3 instance number 41. What is the user? SAP HANA, SAP HANA DB. Is that SAP HANA DB, SAP HANA DB, yes. So what is the password? So the source password. You are creating the connection. For that one, your server name details, server port number, right? And also you have the index server port number. This is the index server port number, right? But because data will be there where? Index server only, right? Then index server port number you have to give it. Then username and the password. The password you need to provide it here. Then click on the, once you provide the password, just click on the save this edit. If you save it here, it will say like remote source created here. But it's saying that communication failure cannot resolve the host name, here. So there is a, so the port, then we can give you some connection issue between this server and that server here. Then what I can do here, we have the S4 HANA system. What is the port number? Like that, we can pull from SQL server. We can pull from other databases without copying the data. Just we can pull the data. Just we can access the data. That is the first of all. So let me check this one. .108. Okay. Instead of host name, I can pull like 108. Yes. See, remote source updated, remote connection is established here. So what I have done it here, my HDB is the standalone HANA database. I linked from the source database is called the MCD is the S4 HANA application database here. Then what I am doing here, I can create the, I can use the schema. I can get the some data here. I can get the data here, right? Suppose like I want some table data should be replicated to the here. Right click and so let's see what is the table data you want. See, these all are the data. How you are getting this data? This data is from the source database. Means your SAP S4 HANA database data. You are accessing from where? your normal HANA system to you are accessing the remote source. Through remote source, you are accessing the data. Means through pipe, you are pulling the everything here. You are pulling the all the data. So like which schema? You have the schema. Under the schema, what table? These are the tables here, right? You have the n number of tables are here available here. N number of tables are available here. So right. So then you need to pull the data, right? You can create as a virtual table. You can create as a virtual table. So which means you are that table you are just creating as a virtual table. Means instead of directly copying the data from source to here, just creating a view here. Virtual table view you are creating here. Like that you can see lakhs of tons of tables are there here, source in the S4 HANA. There are tons of tables are there. So like that you can pull the data. You can pull a lot of data. You can pull it out. Right. So whatever the data, if you add to the data to here, then that data will be in the, suppose like, let's see, rotor remote replication, add as a virtual table. So all the tables you can add as a virtual table here. It will be added into the schema. Whatever the tables you want to add it, all the tables you can add it here. Virtual table, add as a virtual table means, so it won't copy the data, just you can access the data from this table here, right? In the source, so see here, your MCD to HDB data, right click and if you see the open the data preview here, all the data is getting displayed here, whatever the data. So right click and so open the data preview here, whatever the data it is getting displayed here, right? So then, so right click and you can just open the data preview here. So the data is getting displayed, all the fields can be found here. So which means, so the data, you can access the data. So that's why real table and the virtual table, the see here, there is a difference here between the two tables definition, right? So you are pulling the data from the here. That's why you can see the data thing here. So which means without logging to the source databases, once you create the remote connection, directly you can pull the whenever you need, directly it will pull the data to the HANA database here. Sir, if the data copies from here to here, then size also will be increased, right? No, just it won't, you are not copying any data, just you are accessing the remote system data, you are accessing smartly, you are accessing the data from, you are from target source data you are accessing here, right? Simply you are accessing here. That's we will call it as the, so that's we will call it as the data provisioning concept here, right? So like that, so you can also create the remote source for the, so now you one remote source you created MCD, right? So then here you can see the what are the SQL statements are initiated. Also like that you can also create the new remote source for the any other sources. But only thing is if you use the Sybase, IQ, or SQL Server, Oracle source databases, then you need to some library, their OS level we have to install the some binaries, some libraries you have to install it. That will be done by the your OS team if you inform to them. So suppose like Sybase means ODBC library, JDBC driver, ODBC driver you have to install it. Then this some Linux packages, OS packages you have to install it. So like that above, suppose like you want to connect to the above system, suppose like MCD system, then you can also connect to the MCD system here, right? So then you can also use the MCD system, right? What is the port number, through via which port number you are trying to connect it here, that port number here, 8004. Then what is the path you want to pick up connected to the here? What is the user you want to connect it here? So right, directly connecting to the above system here. Client, which client? You have to mention the client also, right? Client. Then you can create the connection. So like that, not supported. Resource created 403 authorization issue. 403 means authorization issue. So that is the one. So authentication mode, basic, so user ID, password you have to create. connection details, technical user. Okay. So like that, see, you can create the connectivity here. So like that. So sir, HANA, we can only view the only this HANA system database, right, sir? But suppose like if my data is in the some other sources, some wherever you have some other sources, then how can I access the data? Sir, if I want to access those systems database here, suppose I want to access the data from the SQL server, again I need to log into the SQL server. I need to export the data. Then HANA data also I need to export it. Both I have to do the some Excel work. It will take very longer time, right, sir? Then how my business will do the how I mentioned like fraction of minutes we can do the business analysis, and also this kind of work, how the reporting tools also will do this kind of things here, right? That's the reason SAP come up with this concept is called the data provisioning. Just you can create the connection, then from login to in this host, you can access all the remote systems data. You can access it here. That's called the data provisioning concept here. Data provisioning, smart data access. Smartly, you can access the data from the sources databases. Okay, that is the smart data access here. So we have the security separately. I will explain it. Security and the backup. These are the small things I explained. And coming to yeah. So coming to the SAP HANA licensing part here. Licensing part. HANA licensing. So SAP HANA, they are by default, there are the two types of licenses here, right? When you by default, when you install the HANA, then you will get the temporary license that is valid 90 days. But within this 90 days, so you have to, it means HANA systems are not free. Okay, there is a license, but temporary you will get the 90 days license, free licenses. Before you expire the 90 days license, then you need to apply the permanent license. Permanent license. This is like whatever the predefined space, you can explain it here. In the permanent license also, we have the two types here. One is the enforced, second one is the unenforced. So the words are different, but simple concept. Prepaid, postpaid recharges. You remember this prepaid and the postpaid recharges. What is mean by prepaid recharge? Right? Earlier we have the prepaid recharges. Now also I think, yeah, now monthly recharges. Maybe, so just remember this one example, prepaid, and this is kind of a postpaid. Which means what will happen here, when you, in the permanent license, when you are applying the enforced license here, there is a limitation here, right? So how much, why? Because when you are purchasing the license from SAP, you need to specify the how much memory you want to use it. So that kind of a prepaid. So when you 50 rupees recharge, if you do it, you will get the 40 rupees, you will get the free. Then 40 rupees, the limitation, you will get it out. You can use up to that 40 rupees limit, right? The recharge you done it for 50, but you got the 40 rupees. Then earlier we have to up to rupee to 2 rupees, 3 rupees, multiple calls, and up to 40 rupees. You will talk to your friend. When the 40 rupees license is done, again your mobile will be down, your calls will be disconnected, right? That is, we will call it as the prepaid. Postpaid means how much you want to use it. Month end you will get the bill, you can pay it. That's it. Without any uninterruption, you are able to use the mobile phones, right? So same concept here. Enforced means it's a limited, it's a unlimited here, unlimited memory, which means here, so what will happen here, so this is the your HANA database here, right? So today, so you have the you have purchased the license, this is 1 terabyte. Take example, this is a HANA in-memory database here, this is the 1 TB, you purchased the license, 1 TB, 1 terabyte. So then you have the 1 terabyte RAM, but in the 1 terabyte RAM, you purchased only 900 GB only. 900 GB only you purchased the license. right? Then HANA will start using from zero, day 1, 0, 0, 0, like that. It will start growing all the data. They will keep into the in memory, in memory, in memory, in memory. Then when the limit is crossed here, when the limit is reached here, your HANA system will be down. Your limit is crossed, your HANA system. Why? Because out of one, even though you have the 100 GB free memory is there, but you purchased the license is enforced, then immediately your HANA system will go down. Why? Because you purchased only license 700 GB only, 900 GB only. Then when that limit is reached here, your HANA system will be down. HANA system will be locked first of all, locked for the operations. It will not allow any transactions to store the way because the license limit is over. So then unlimited means you don't have any limitations here. You keep on increasing the license limit and everything. So it won't go down and it won't affect your business operations and everything. That we will call it as the unenforced. Unenforced here. So here we can see the all the details here. Maybe if you go to the system DB, right click and properties here. Here we can see the license tab here. In the license tab, here we can see the temporary license. By default, it will be the 90 days here. Then if you want to apply the license, then click on the install the license here. You need to download the license from the your service marketplace here. Then you can install the license like this. You have to install it, right? So that's why you can extend the license here. For now, nothing will happen. Why? Because still we have the 18th October. So if you want to add new one, then so that time just click on the install. Then you can apply the license. The license text file you need to download from the service marketplace SAP. Then once the license is downloaded, just click on the install button. You can able to install the license from here. Okay, that is the licenses concept here. This is also very small topic here. Okay, this is the license topic. And so this permanent license, so which means when you are purchasing the license from SAP, you are not only providing the SID and so the hardware ID, you need to provide the one more field is called the quantity, how much GB, how much terabytes of memory license you want to generate it. So based on that, your license calculations will be, right? So based upon the license, you purchased only, you have 1 terabyte RAM is there, but you purchased only 400 GB or 500 GB means, then it will come threshold like this here. Then your HANA will start using the 0 to up to here. When the 500 GB, the limitation is started, how the your calls will be disconnected. Your HANA also will be disconnected from the applications. Then none of the data will, new data will not be stored into the DB level. DB level, nothing will be stored here. That we will call it as the so enforced. But unenforced, nothing will happen. It will use the, you can extend it. So we can extend it the limitation. Why? Because it's unlimited, postpaid, right? You can use it here, right? So that is the HANA licensing part here, right? So some kind of important stuff this one. Okay. And we have 10 minutes and what that's why you can practice it. And tomorrow, so one of the very interesting concept here that will be happen in the database level here, that we will call it as the delta merge and save point operations. And it's very important concept here. So sir, all the data storing into the HANA database level in memory, but in memory is the volatile memory. RAM memory is the volatile memory. If something restarts happens, all the data will be gone. So in this case, what about the my data, terabytes of data stored into the RAM? If the system is restarted, all the data is gone. No, one copy of data will be stored into the disk space level /HANA data log. Then in how it will be stored, which part we can see it here, right? So these concepts will tell you the more information about the, so how the data will be storing, one copy of data will be storing into the disk layer level. Then Whenever the restart happens, then same data will be replicated, will be copied, will be to the main memory, how it is doing and what will happen. So some kind of interesting concept that we'll see tomorrow. Okay.
Sir,
Yes.
uh, can you please go to the trace configuration tab?
Yes.
Uh, yes, sir. Trace config. Sir, what is kernel profile status means at
The
what?
kernel OS level library is giving the some trouble. Okay. OS level kernel means what? OS level libraries. So HANA, there is a OS level libraries. You are not sure whether it's a OS level issue, but because database side, user side, no issues, nothing is happening. But the OS level, there are some issues. If you open the kernel profile trace here, this will analyze the performance issues with the software that we installed, tools, some services, what is binaries are giving the problem, or softwares are giving the problem, or that kind of information to calculate the some kind of information. So we can start the kernel profiler tracing here, which means OS level information will be collected here. You no need to log into the operating system level, then no need to execute any commands, just to take the trace here. Plan trace means, so some kind of executions, SQL statements execution means each query execution trace collections that will be done. So expensive statement, long running statement. If any statement is running from longer time, that statement will be recorded. Performance, system performance related tracing, SQL tracing. So all the database related tracing only. Database level, if anything, normally this will be collected by diagnosis files. That's fine. But if you required more logs, that time you need to enable the this collect traces you have to. Sometimes SAP required the more logs. That time SAP will ask you to enable the trace collection, enable the performance trace for 2 days, send me the data. Like that, they will ask you. Then that time you can collect the traces here, trace collection.
Sir, voice level allocation of diagnosis files and trace files
Yeah, that
configurations.
will come tomorrow's topic.
Okay.
So
And see, in
tomorrow,
Oracle table,
yes.
sorry, in Oracle database and all, we have like concept like table reorg and all. Here also, do
Right.
we have like that?
There is no reorg concept here. Compression concept is there. Load, unload concepts are there here. Load, unload, compression. So that concepts are there in the HANA database level here.
Okay. One last question, sir. See, applying license from S license T code and database level, both are same or?
That is SAP level. That is the SAP application license. Database level through HANA Studio, you cannot apply the license. Because
So,
application also you require the license from SAP, right? The DB also you require the separate licenses. So both licenses you need to purchase from SAP.
okay. So we need to
Both,
add both
yeah, both
system
we have
and
to. Yeah, as in the SAP marketplace, both the systems should be required.
so application license we can apply from voice level also. Same way we can apply from
Yeah,
voice
yeah,
level also DB.
2 ways. Yeah, yeah, 2 ways. Any product SAP applications, 2 ways we can do it. Operating system level we can do it, and like then application level we can do that one. SAP also S license we can do that one, but license already applied. Then how will you log in? Then OS level we have to do that one. Same as like here HANA also, HANA Studio level you can do that one. The Studio you forgot to apply the license, then you cannot able to log in. Once the license is expired, you cannot log into the HANA systems. Then you have to apply from the OS level.
Sure, sir. Got it, sir. And I just show us like in whenever when you free that how to apply from voice level also, sir. HANA.
Yeah, yeah, we have a voice level topic. So voice level file systems, I have to explain voice level file system, which means where the HANA logs will be stored, what are the important folders voice level, then some useful commands like HDB info. So HDB, so there are some useful commands. Yeah, that will be covered. Yes, I will explain it. Like license, that kind of things.
Sure, sir. Thanks.
Sir, about security tabs, it was
Yes. Security, yes. We are discussing the security also, right? Security means users creation. So now, as
Yes,
of now, you are using the system user by default user. You are also using the system user. I am also using the system user. Total 20 people also using system user. If someone deletes, who is that guy? Deleted everything, right? So we cannot identify. That's why we should not use the system user. We have to create the individual users. We have to log in. Then whoever deletes, then the traces will catch up. So then we can take the respective actions here. So that's why the users creations are there. So this topic will take some time. That's why I'm not explained today. But we are going to discuss about the security also.
okay, sir.
Yeah. We have security. Don't worry. HANA is not completed still. There are a lot of topics are pending. So just only studio level topics we are discussing. We have like security concept. We have like delta merge, save point, OS level commands, OS level file systems, troubleshooting logs, and also we need to backups, restore, recovery, high availability, replications. So yeah, many things are there. So it will take some time. So it's not immediately work. So we'll go one by one again slowly.
Okay, sir.
Ravi, good morning. Dashrath here.
Yes.
How can we add the table space? Like in Oracle, we have the BR tools, right?
Your voice is very, very low, sir.
Hello. No, okay.
It's better.
I mean, today's topic is table spaces, right? I mean, if the table space is full, how can we add the table space to the in HANA database? I mean,
So
earlier we have Oracle.
here there is no table spaces concept in the HANA database level here. No table spaces. Directly the tables data will be stored into the in-memory only here. So if the data is coming here, immediately it will keep on growing the memory size. It keep on growing the memory size to the up to limitation. Then we need to extend the RAM size. So there is no
Okay.
table space concept here in the HANA database. Oracle, we have the table spaces. Inside of the table spaces, we have the tables, right? But here we don't have that concept directly. So all the data resides into the in memory only. There is no table space concept.
Recently, one of the interviewer asked me, how can you add the table space in the HANA database? I mean, if the table, I mean, one of the table is full, how can you add that table space like that? So
Table
that's
space.
yeah, table.
Okay.
I mean, the table is full.
Yeah. Maybe Oracle, then that's fine. But HANA database table space he's asking means I don't
Just,
know.
I mean, this is logical question, I think.
Yeah. Then immediately we have to say like there is no table space concept in the HANA database level. Whatever the data storing here, so everything will be stored into the memory only. So our main responsibility, we need to check the what is the status of the memory utilization. If the utilization is coming to the 100% is done, it's not only one table. All the tables data will be affected. Why? Because 100% full, then none of the tables will insert the data, right? So that will affect it, all the tables data. So maybe we need to extend these limitations, memory limitations and all those things. We have to extend it here. So previously your OS level 30 GB you configured, then 27 GB I think you have restricted like, so suppose example in the configuration tab, some global, here it is there in the configuration, there is a, we have the operating system level full memory, full space is there. But even though how can you extend means you can increase the parameter global, because this is online parameter only, global allocation limit. So then this is a 25 GB only. Let's make it to the 27 GB. Okay, let's save it. So then when you go to the here, it's only 24 GB, then space is full. But even though you have the 30 GB, then how? Means when you just increase the parameter, immediately this size will be increased. This way, this is one of the thing. Even if you don't have operating system level memory, then if you keep on increasing, then what is the use case, right? So then you need to increase the operating system level memory. You have to uplift it. Otherwise, Anna, there is a concept is called the some of the tables data we can unload it. We can unload the some of the tables data here. So that's possible. So unloading the data means instead of keeping all the tables data in memory, few of the tables which are not important table, so that will come in the tomorrow. Why? Because tomorrow I'm going to export the delta merge concept. So then some of the tables data we can export it here. So right click and just unload from the main memory. the 2 GB data you are unloading from the main memory, then 2 GB data will get free right here.
Yes,
That
yes,
will
yes,
come tomorrow.
yes, yes.
Tomorrow you can
Yes.
understand that one.
Okay, and one more question, Ravi. Today you said about the data provisioning, right?